It's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title?
No, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Sound like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao's shocking return to the ring against Mario Barrios has the boxing world buzzing promoter Eddie Hearn acknowledged. Pacquiao's legendary skills, stating that the Filipino icon is still capable of beating fighters ranked in the top 20. However, Hearn also voiced concern over Pacquiao's age and prolonged inactivity, warning that the 45-year-old legend may no longer perform at the elite level he once did. Fans are divided, some thrilled to witness the legend's comeback, while others fear for his health and legacy. Barrios, a younger and currently active contender, poses a serious challenge.
It's a very contentious subject, like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford, and that's why, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Boxing fans worldwide are stunned as Pacquiao officially returns to action after retiring in 2021 following his loss to Yordenis Ugas, now 46. The iconic fighter is set to challenge Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title this July. WBC president Mauricio Suleiman confirmed the bout, highlighting Pacquiao's enduring legacy and his desire to retire as a champion. Despite growing concerns about his age and recent inactivity, Pacquiao remains confident and aims to make history once again. In the squared circle,
in a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed, venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and it was so out of left field. Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Yordenis Ugas, the very, very tricky Cuban fighter. Convincingly lost to Yordenis Ugas. And
trainer Greg Hackett didn't hold back in his reaction to Pacquiao's return against Mario Barrios. Speaking candidly, Hackett said that had this fight happened years ago, Pacquiao would have easily handled Barrios, but today, things are different. Hackett stressed that this version of Pacquiao is a far cry from the explosive fighter fans once knew. At 45, he argued Pacquiao likely lacks the same speed, endurance, and killer instinct. Hackett labeled the bout as a money fight, not a clash between two athletes in their prime, calling it more of a spectacle than a true competition.
Like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, it's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, why not? If he could make it happen, Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boots, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things, but not so great where I get in there with a guy that'll kill me right now. You know what I'm saying? So all right, I'll fight Pacquiao. He damn near 50 years old. I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So these dudes different anyway. They different. If I was Barrios, I wouldn't entertain Pacquiao. I'd be on that hunt for them wrestling.
Timothy Bradley echoed similar concerns, suggesting that the fight is driven more by financial incentives than by the pursuit of boxing glory. In Bradley's view, when a fighter returns from retirement, it often signals a need for a big payday. While the WBC title may be on the line, Bradley believes the real motivation is the purse. He noted that Barrios, as a young and active fighter, is being positioned as the fresh face to push Pacquiao to his limits. Bradley even suggested that Barrios has the youth momentum and skills to potentially finish Pacquiao, raising serious questions about whether the legend should be fighting at all.
Getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One, two. I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a fighter, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well. Can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat.
Contrasting with the wave of skepticism, Mario Barrios has remained calm and composed ahead of the bout. Speaking publicly, Barrios expressed respect for Pacquiao, but made it clear that he's not intimidated. He plans to stay disciplined, using his youth and reach advantage to apply constant pressure, Barrios insists. This is not just a payday, it's the biggest opportunity of his career. He sees the fight as a chance to add the name of an all-time great to his resume.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
You know, it shows that, you know, combination punchers, you know, that's how Pacquiao, you know, was landing, you know, his punches, combinations, and you know, it just shows you that, you know, he is a great fighter. But you know, I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, know everything right with our game plan, and I'm going to try to execute it as best as I.
The announcement of Pacquiao's return sent shockwaves through the boxing community. Many fans are still coming to terms with the news, as Pacquiao has remained inactive since his 2021 retirement. Mauricio Suleiman, president of the WBC, confirmed that all required permissions were granted to allow Pacquiao to fight for the welterweight championship once again.
The WBC president Mauricio Suleiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring, and he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins, 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09 Ricky Hatton all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I asked myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, who's the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, talk.
One of the most poetic elements of this return is that Pacquiao is competing for the same WBC belt that first catapulted him onto the global stage. His first world title came in the flyweight division, and now he seeks to close his illustrious career as WBC welterweight champion. This full circle moment carries deep emotional and symbolic value. Speculation is already mounting that the Barrios fight is merely a stepping stone. Rumors suggest that if Pacquiao emerges victorious, he could be setting up one last mega fight against Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Many are questioning whether Barrios was chosen because he's beatably lowing Pacquiao to generate hype for one final blockbuster showdown.
So basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's gonna beat Barrios, which is gonna lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's cry me a river, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve a Canelo fight.
Should Pacquiao defeat Barrios, a clash with Gervonta Davis could become one of the most anticipated fights in modern boxing history. Both fighters are explosive southpaws with massive fan bases. A face-off between them would be a global spectacle, drawing attention from every corner of the boxing world.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has a 6 to 7 fight deal with the PBC and Amazon for $200 million. That's like $30 million a fight, all right? He also has a fight date for November. El Rayo team has said they're not fighting this year, so he's not the guy. So the question is, who is the guy who is willing to fight Tank by November and could build the fight into a fight worth $30 million? Y'all must be out y'all minds if y'all think that Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis isn't a huge fight. That'll probably be his biggest fight ever. Y'all know that's a big fight because the boxing fan today, they know Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. That's who they...
Despite his time away from the ring, many believe Pacquiao still has enough in the tank to defeat Barrios. His record accomplishments and legendary status have led some to declare him the greatest of all time. With titles in 8 weight divisions and a resume filled with legendary opponents, Pacquiao's legacy is unmatched. A win here could silence critics and remind the world why he is considered one of the sport's all-time greats. Still, not everyone is convinced. Critics have likened this bout to Floyd Mayweather's exhibition fights, arguing that it feels more like a cash grab than a serious title contest. To them, this comeback has more in common with nostalgia than true competition.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he... I get he still loves the sport, but listen, you are an all-time great and a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. Why is Mario Barrios agreeing to this? Unless there is some astronomically large amount of money being given out for this fight makes no sense for either party. And I'm sick of having this welterweight division held up by dumb stuff like this. We don't want this fight. It makes absolutely no sense. And all it does is hold up the welterweight division a little bit.
A considerable segment of the fan base has shown little enthusiasm for this fight. Their concern goes beyond the matchup itself. They're worried about Pacquiao's age. At nearly 46, his reflexes, stamina, and durability are expected to be far removed from what they once were. Many fans say they simply don't want to witness another legend enter the ring in a half-hearted effort.
This is a fight that, is almost finalized from per 210 Boxing TV from Instagram, he said Shocking News, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is a done deal for the summer. The date either would be July 19th or 26th on Amazon Prime, and the fight probably won't be on pay-per-view. And location, Las Vegas or San Antonio. So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, there's 210 Boxing is reporting that this fight is a done deal. I'm not going to believe it 100% until I see PBC announce it and everything per se. But I mean, this is a fight that has been in talks from a lot of people, from that side, saying that Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao have been negotiating the fight and everything. And I'm gonna just be real, honestly, man. I don't care for this fight because I don't care to see Manny Pacquiao back fighting again in the ring. Like it serves no justice seeing Manny Pacquiao after we just seen him fight in the exhibition and was not looking good at all in this exhibition. Like he did not look good in the exhibition fight at all. So I really don't want to see Manny Pacquiao fight Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios, I mean, he gets a big payday and he gets to put a legend on his resume. And I think Mario Barrios would definitely win this fight because I just don't think Manny Pacquiao has any gas left in the tank to fight, at an elite level.
This appears to be a growing trend in boxing. Legends returning after retirement for high payday bouts. Floyd Mayweather did it, Mike Tyson did it now. Pacquiao joins the list. Fans are growing increasingly disillusioned, viewing these comebacks as financial stunts that tarnish legacies. Many already see this fight as predictable and unnecessary. Barrios, younger and hungry, is perceived as the likely winner. While the magic of Pacquiao still lingers in the hearts of fans, the fear remains that these return fights may erode the great memories left behind.
Manny Pacquiao he hasn't been a pro in a minute, and you're coming back to fight someone for a belt. Barrios technically should win, but this isn't fair. Like, we could have had Brian Norman Jr. versus Barrios, but we're getting Manny Pacquiao versus Barrios. I don't think anyone wants to see that. Manny Pacquiao is past his prime. He's not in his fighting years no more. And then can he make 147? And then you're letting him fight for the belt. To me, that doesn't make any type of sense. And then if he beats Barrios, let's say hypothetically he beats him, is he gonna unify? Because Boots, that's sitting in the lamb to the slaughter. Brian Norman, that's sitting in the lamb to the slaughter. Like, this doesn't make no sense. These young fighters, they can really hurt. They can really hurt Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao couldn't even handle Ugas. Just think about how this is all playing out. It doesn't make sense. This fight shouldn't be made. Like, there's other fighters that Barrios can fight. Like, he could try to fight Boots because I think unification is strong mandatories.
Mario Barrios' coach remains supremely confident heading into the bout. In multiple interviews, he stated that this is a massive opportunity and that their camp is treating it with the utmost seriousness. While Pacquiao is a living legend, the Barrios team is preparing as though they're facing the prime version of him. The coach emphasized that Barrios never backs down from a challenge and will be ready for everything Pacquiao brings to the table.
Mentioned a lot of people are asking what's going on. Are the rumors true? Is it possibly Spence? Is it Pacquiao? Who is Mario Barrios sharing the ring with next?
You know what? He's put himself in a great position through hard work. He's a tremendous story. When he turned pro and what he's been able to accomplish being a two-time world champion. And I always told everybody, he fights all comers. When we fought Gervonta Davis, all my hats off to Gervonta Davis. But it was very difficult for us to make the weight. We were going to move up in weight. They presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, you know what, I'll bite down for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes at that point is about as good as you can get in the division and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Petirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's, Pacquiao, Spence, if that's a unification with Boots in it.
Pacquiao's advisor Sean Gibbons explained that the decision to fight Mario Barrios was both strategic and symbolic. Barrios currently holds the WBC title, same sanctioning body that awarded Pacquiao his first championship belt. According to Gibbons, reclaiming the WBC title would provide a powerful bookend to one of the greatest careers in boxing history for Pacquiao. This fight is about more than money or competition. It's about legacy, symbolism, and going out on top. Whether he succeeds or not, the story behind this return is undeniably compelling.
We have Sean Gibbons here, Manny Pacquiao's right-hand man, advisor, head of MP Promotions. Sean, I know you spent a lot of time with Manny Pacquiao over recent weeks and months. There's a lot of conversations about Manny's comeback. What is the latest that you could offer and the update around the potential matchup with Mario Barrios?
Well, the latest is Manny's fighting an exhibition on 28th in Japan. So, you don't really look past that. But if he's successful there, Mario Barrios, we've talked about Conor Benn, which I believe was a great fight. That would have been a tremendous fight. We could have done it in England. We could have done it in the U.S. We could have done it in Riyadh season. But the fact that he wasn't able to come off the suspension, that put the brakes on that. So that brought us to Mario Barrios. He's the WBC world champion. Manny's first belt ever many years ago was a WBC belt. So